CNRM conducts medical research surrounding traumatic brain injury, concussion, PTSD, things like that. And they need to recruit volunteers for their research studies so they can make progress that's going to benefit this country. One of the challenges that CNRM has is when you're recruiting volunteers for medical research studies, there's a lot of rules about what you can and can't say before it goes through some sort of approval process. Recruiting communications isn't that different from lots of other types of communications. So we start by asking things like, what's the purpose, who's the audience, and what's the message? In communication architecture, we talk about the purpose of your campaign, and we also talk about the message, and they're not always one and the same. And so in this case, their purpose is to get volunteers for these research studies. But their message can't be, hey, volunteer for this research study, because then they have to go through these approval channels. So one of the first things we did was create a video for them, a Meet the Researchers video that sort of gives a face to the agency. So if you're an audience member, you can learn a little bit about these people who are actually doing the research. Hopefully alleviate some fears people might have about medical research. But we're also helping them use social media channels like Twitter and Facebook, and they're posting the video to YouTube, places like that. They can use those channels to get into a conversation with their audience and hopefully build some more audience of people who are interested in what research is going on. And then if we can get them to reach out to CNRM with questions about research, then CNRM can perhaps reach out to them about volunteering for some of these research trials. Working on this recruiting effort in particular, what we learned is that sometimes in the government sphere, it's hard to move at the pace of the internet in this new social media age. So the challenge is, well, what messages can we post that don't need approval so that we can keep this conversation going at internet speed? You can just build up that audience base, and then from that audience base, you can find those potential volunteers.